welcome to this Mariandina Wellness webinar platform. I am your host, Rebecca. I am also your authorized distributor of the Mariandina Optimal Nutrition products that we all know and love. And for some of us, this will be the first introduction that we have, and ensure that as many people as possible have the opportunity to come onto this platform. Today will be a wellness seminar that will be focusing on hormone health. Hormone health is today's topic of choice. Today, our lovely and fantastic, knowledgeable and expert teacher, therapeutic, holistic expert in our midst in the beginning. This is brought to you by Mariandina Optimal Nutrition. Today will also be a time that you will have an opportunity to purchase the products, the Mariandina products, the range. Second, but for those of you that know him, you know who I'm talking about. But I really want to do this introduction much justice, because in this world, it is rare to see people that are so willing to share with you knowledge, information that will empower you, will empower me to be the best versions of ourselves that we can be, meaning that we are operating at
what
our
exactly is in the
optimum health.
Because it's very important for us to really realize that the product we're talking about was developed by Professor Sally, was developed after 10 years of research, was developed in such a way as to combat a wide variety of different conditions by presenting the body with optimum nutrition. And they use the word optimum because your body is like a car burning nutrients all the time. Many times, like I said, we're lacking chromium. And many people can be lacking chromium, they become borderline diabetic, and they start to get situations where their system starts to malfunction because of poor blood sugar control. Quercetin is very important in terms of the fact that it is a natural way the body uses a natural antihistamine. If you've got hay fever symptoms, if you've got allergic symptoms, quercetin is also in the product there to help you to manage that. Copper is very important for absorption of iron. If you have low levels of copper, it's also going to affect your hormone balance, because again, we know sometimes as a result of the menstrual cycle, women can also become anemic, and also copper is very important in absorption of iron, but you can also have low levels of iron. Again, we have iron within the product to help you to actually improve your iron levels. Folic acid is very important for DNA synthesis. We talked about thyroid. Within the Mariandina, we also have iodine. Choline is very important for the way your liver actually manages stress, as well as also manages cholesterol balance in the liver. At the same time, magnesium, we said, is very important for the way magnesium is very important for insulin resistance. A lot of people who've got type 2 diabetes will have poor insulin. They'll find that they've got insulin resistance, which means that the blood finds it difficult. So the sugar finds it difficult to come out of the blood. As insulin resistance means that they're lacking magnesium. So all these things actually play a key role. And what I put there is basically that our system is needing different things to help us to really optimize our well-being. One of the things we're also seeing is within Mariandina B, excuse me, where we find that this is mainly dealing with balancing of hormones. We are realizing we become sometimes hormone imbalance situations happen over a period of time. And we have in Mariandina beta carotene. Beta carotene is so essential in terms of immune function. Today here, for example, in Uganda, we have a situation where our soils do not absorb beta carotene very well. So we end up with what we call a deficiency in beta carotene. Even if we're eating carrots and everything and very well and eating very, we still have a deficiency in beta carotene. Just like I mentioned in the regional fast seminar we did, we had a situation where people sometimes in Jamaica, because the soil is poor in boron, they tend to have what they call prostate inflammation and prostate cancer and prostate enlargement because of poor boron levels. Boron is such an important mineral when it comes to prostate health. But if you're lacking from the minerals, that means you're going to men in Jamaica will be predisposed to getting prostate issues. In fact, today, Kingston is called the prostate cancer capital of the world because of the levels of prostate cancer very high in Jamaica. And when it comes to other areas, like in Ghana, you find that their soil is lacking iodine. And this also means that even if the Ghanaians are eating a lot of their food from their soil, they're still getting a deficiency in iodine because their body is not getting the iodine from the soil. So they become what they develop thyroid issues or thyroid problems. And you find that if you look at the number of thyroid imbalance, or people suffering from thyroid issues in Ghana is going to be very high, again related to the soil being poor in iodine. So soil science is very important as we move forward in terms of understanding that even our bodies, sometimes even as we're eating well, we may be deficient in certain issues that we're not aware of. Hawthorn is very important for the heart. Licorice is very important for inflammation, but also is one of the phytoestrogens that we have in our systems. Our systems need. So everything I'm putting there is really also understanding that your body actually requires all these nutrients to actually optimize hormone health. And what do I mean by that is because basically everything is about balance. And if your body is not actually functioning optimally because it's lacking certain things, it also creates a situation where the system starts to move into a state of a hormone imbalance. But most importantly is also the fact that we have also Mariandina J. Mariandina J is mainly to do with a herbal formulation. It really helps with women's issues, especially in hormone, people who've got period pains or hormone menopausal symptoms like hot flushes, heart palpitations, or situations where the people are getting, women are getting leg cramps. This can also really be related to the fact that their systems, as they move into this phase of life, they can actually suffer from the fact that their body is trying to really adjust. But because, again, it doesn't have the right nutrients to adjust, people go into a state of extremeness where they have what they call constant hot flashes that they can't manage very well. So period pain is also dysmenorrhea. It can actually now impact men, women, and also they can move into a state where they're constantly trying to cope with stronger and stronger painkillers to actually that can actually lead to constipation and many other challenges. Now, within Mariandina J, we have mainly our 29 herbs there that literally help with liver health. The liver is so connected to the women's menstrual cycle. In fact, those who have poor liver function will always have difficult periods or irregular periods or what they call heavy periods, because, again, the liver is very important in terms of how it connects and helps in terms of filtering the blood, but also connects with the womb lining to help in terms of really that process of the menstrual cycle. So whenever we look at liver health, you also want to look at the fact that you need dandelion to remove toxins. You also need things like milk thistle, which again you find in Mariandina J. You also require bayberry. These are all liver nutrients that are very important in terms of removing toxins and helping with hormone health and also womb health. But also you find that as we go forward, this is what Mariandina J does in terms of really inflammation. Now, inflammation can occur anywhere in the body. Sometimes you have prostate inflammation. You can have what they call vaginitis, which is another inflammation in the vagina. You can also have a situation where you have inflammation in the pancreas, pancreatitis. So inflammation can occur anywhere affecting those hormonal organs. You can have what they call a situation where you have nephritis, which is inflammation in the kidneys. You can have inflammation in the skin, which is dermatitis. So this is all about really understanding that you need anti-inflammatories, and this is where Mariandina J comes in, because it's built up with a lot of natural anti-inflammatories that help the body to cope with different situations. We also have one for children, but as we know, the children go through stress. Sometimes children don't eat their greens, and sometimes they're in a situation where they're lacking certain things. Their development might be affected. Their growth path might be affected because of lack of certain key nutrients. Sometimes children are born with congenital defects, again, because during the process of conception, certain minerals are lacking. Then we end up with what they call different congenital defects that can actually result from what we call lack of key nutrients. They might develop rickets or different congenital conditions that actually now impact the child. Also, as they grow up, they need to have what they call the immune systems and their vitality strengthened. And this also has, we had a case in Ghana where there was one of the children had a hole in the heart, and in Ghana, this condition of hole in the heart, children being born with a hole in the heart, is becoming more and more prevalent. When one of the children took Mariandina syrup, over 2 months, they were able to close that hole in the heart. And doctors were amazed about how a simple syrup can actually help with a condition like a hole in the heart. And they're still now doing tests on the Mariandina to actually find ways of assisting some more of the children who are getting this issue of hole in the heart. Today, we also think that Mariandina syrup has also a lot of all those nutrients there. Many children are suffering from eczema, they're suffering from all kinds of issues around their development, around their thyroid development, or they're getting rickets, or they're getting situations. Again, these are all deficiencies. Now, yes, they get a lot of what they get from breast milk and food, but also we're seeing that many children sometimes suffer from deficiencies right to their life. For example, a good example is sometimes sickle cell patients or sickle cell children can actually become deformed as they develop because of, again, their bodies having obstruction because of the lack of nutrients being able to be delivered properly to the cells and the tissues.